Peace. A and B African man born, a random rant of the night. Alright? I'm not going to be on too long on this episode because I still got to edit some videos that are already on my device. So, I'm going to tell you this. There's two types of hip-hop that I experienced. I be going in on hip-hop because I'm getting y'all ready for the Culture Speaks podcast coming next year. That's going to be a little bit more sophisticated, a little bit more informational. This podcast is just a rant. For the last rant I talked about, rant of the night, I talked about KRS-One and how he declined the Grammys Hip Hop Celebration Tribute, which I think he should have. There's two types of hip hop that I see, and I've been going in on this on the last couple of rants. There is the culture, and there's the genre. I rock with hip hop. I am hip hop, but I am also not hip hop. What does that mean? I am the culture. I am not the genre. I know how to use the genre to express the culture, but I don't like the genre. And the reason why I don't like the genre because it produces what you see now in hip hop, where everybody thinks that it's a young man's game. Everybody thinks it's a young girl's game. Everybody thinks it's a misogynistic art form. Everybody thinks it's a ratchet women art form. Everybody thinks it's a violent art form. Everybody thinks it's a immature art form. And the funny thing is, they're right if they're looking at the genre. But if you're looking at the culture, then you're wrong. And if you was looking at the culture, then you wouldn't even make a statement as if hip-hop is nothing but misogynistic, violent, ratchet, hypersexual, immature, because the culture is not that. Are there immature aspects to any culture? Absolutely. But when you're dealing with culture, hip-hop culture has a purpose. Culture has a purpose, and that purpose is to preserve life on the existence that you are on, which means when you go back to your culture, when we tell black women go natural, go back to natural, right? We're telling you to live within your culture because it suits you the best. We're not trying to tell you what to do. A lot of women that don't want to listen to their brothers, they say things like, oh, you're trying to control women and da-da-da-da. We ain't trying to control you at all. At least a man like me ain't. The men that are trying to control you want to keep you looking like a European, want to keep you looking outside of yourself, want to keep you thinking outside of yourself. A man that wants you for who you are, wants you to express yourself naturally, fully within their culture. Why? Because you get the best out of that person. You know what I mean? You don't get the best out of that person when they're not naturally themselves. You just don't. Just like us. When we was wearing that conch and lie in our hair, we wasn't the best of ourselves. We was using poison to destroy ourselves. So when you're dealing with hip-hop as a culture, we are trying to cure you from the poison that the genre has produced. We didn't make the hip-hop genre. We made the culture that the enemy took and created the genre. And that's where people have to understand the genre can be good if you have people that are in the genre living in their culture. And then you have some people that don't want to know the genre, but you have to know the genre in order to know the culture. But you cannot be all about the genre and live the culture. I don't know if this is making sense to y'all. It might sound stupid to y'all, but these are facts. You know what I'm saying? You cannot live hip-hop culture in its full extent, whatever that is to you, and then be the genre. A lot of people that are into the genre are gonna get mad at me for saying this, but I don't give a fuck. Let's build instead of arguing. Build instead of arguing. The genre is the music art form that needs the music industry to express itself, which means you're not even using your own mind a lot of times. You're doing what's trendy to get a dollar. The culture doesn't need the dollar. The culture doesn't need the industry. The culture doesn't need the engine. The culture doesn't need the radio. The culture doesn't need the backing from that system. But the culture can use the genre to get all of those things and express those things based on its own perception and its own thought process and its own views and natural way of thinking. Which means I can use the genre and the business of the genre and create my own industry to express the culture. So that's just something I wanted to give you. I wanted to do a brief random rant of the night just to give you that perception. You don't have to take it all in, and you don't even have to actually agree with it. But I just wanted to give you that. So that's A&B, African Man Born, on Random Rant of the Night. I'll see you on the next rant. Peace.